All right, this is going to be the first part of some videos that will show you how to do the practice interview. So if you would, and again, even if you're not in period 3, it doesn't matter. I'm up here on a class tab for period 3, but if you would go to classroom and find this topic where it says practice interview, this is where we are going to start. Um, the first thing that you'll need to do in order to complete the practice interview is download the files that are associated with this project. So if you click in that box and open it up, there will be a link to a Google Drive folder. Um, in that folder, you will see 3 folders: audio, B-roll, and interview. All of it needs to be downloaded. A quick way to do it is just do Command A and select it all. And then once you have those 3 folders selected, you right click and do a download. Um, when you download, this process could take 2 to 3 minutes. It could take 5 to 6 minutes. You'll see it preparing the download over here. It's going to zip the files up. After this little circle in the corner that keeps turning into an X, once that completes doing its preparing process, it will show it over here in the lower left-hand corner. This is a completed download right here. Yours will turn into a box with a circle on it, and you have to wait for the circle has a blue thing that runs around it, and you have to wait for that to be completely done before you can move on. So if you need to pause this video, okay? There it goes. So see, now that little circle is just going to run around and around and around for a while. Okay. When it's done, it'll look like this, like a little white icon with a zipper on it. At that point, you can do a show in Finder. Once you show it in Finder, it'll be on a little white icon with a zipper. Drive download is the name of the file. You double click it, and that'll give you a blue folder. There it is. And you double click the blue folder, and there are the 3 files that you need. Command A, select small. Then you can copy them and put them in your own digital production folder, or you can drag and drop them. When you put them in your own digital production folder, and again, my screen won't look like yours, pick your folder, make a folder called practice interview, and then get those files into that folder so that you can use them for this project. Okay. I'm going to close my practice interview folder up, and I'm going to close up this downloaded folder or this screen. Again, leave yours open, pause the video, and when you're got everything where it needs, come back and join back in on the video. Once the files are downloaded, you can open up this file here that says steps for the practice interview. Now, what you're going to see here is what we're going to do step by step together in class to complete this project. And again, if you haven't downloaded the files, go back and do that. To complete the practice interview, the first thing we would need to do is find our question and answer document. And if we were doing this in real time, you have to actually write out questions for the interview. Okay, so let's go back to Classroom and find the question and answer document. And that's going to look like this. So if you're going to interview a person, you're going to need to have questions that you're going to ask them. Here are the 9 questions that we asked in this practice interview of Mr. Anderson. You can see them listed here on the left-hand side. The right-hand side, you'll notice the first 5 are empty. That's because we have to figure out what his answers are. But then starting with questions 6, 7, 8, and 9, these are the answers that he gave, and I'll show you how that works in the interview. And this is where you write a conclusion. So this is your question and answer document, okay? So let's go back, now that we have that open, let's go back to the steps. And once you get that document open, you will not have to write any questions for the practice interview, but you will have to for your own. So you can just write in here that you are done with that. Okay. The second step that you need to do to conduct an interview is to do what we call shot planning of what's called B-roll. B-roll is the video that will play during the interview, and over planning is a good idea. So if we go back to classroom, there is not a B-roll planning sheet here because, again, it was done for you. Okay. When you do your own interview, you will have to do that. So back here in the steps, you can write that for now, this is done. The third step in doing this practice interview would be to actually conduct the interview, get a video camera. I'll give you some notes as to how to do that. And you go into a quiet room and you turn the camera on and you ask all these questions that are listed here that we want to know about the person. For this practice interview project, that has already been done, so you can write done in that box. The fourth step to doing this interview, the practice interview, then would be to shoot the B-roll. And that has to go along with step number 2 up here, that you plan it. And for the practice interview, that is actually done, and you can write done in the box. When you do your own interview, this takes about, step 4 takes about 2 days. Okay. And so that is how you complete the downloading of the files. And once you get started with the steps, what step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 actually look like. And then that will be the end of this video. There'll be another video that will show you how to get started with step number 5 and 6 and so on. Okay, so that takes care of the first part of the practice interview.